What is up? I'm Andy, and today I want to talk about something that I heard this morning, literally about an hour and a half ago. I was over at Men's Prayer, and my new friend Dominic over there said something that kind of it made a real big impact on me, and I wanted to talk to you about that today because even though he was talking about this thing with someone else or for someone else, I was like, wow, that's totally me too. So here we go. So what Dominic was talking about was how even in a previous season of life where maybe we had stepped into the thing we've been molded and crafted and created to do, and then that season changed and morphed into something else and we kind of step away from that, or we were in the shadows of that, that does not mean that thing goes away. That skill set, that talent, that giftedness, that blessing that you have. And so I was like, whoa, that's me. He's talking to this other guy, but that's totally me too. And so recently what started to kind of come back up again is that the person that I am most naturally and who I think I've been made to be, which is someone who's a connector, who likes sharing life with people, who's an encourager to others, and who can help kind of revive boldness and courage amongst others. I was not like that over the last couple of years because I was personally dealing with the destruction of the failure that I had publicly, and that was really just destroying and like morphing and changing who it is I was believing myself to be. And so a lot of you that have known me for a long time, you're like, oh yeah, Andy's jovial, and Andy is fun to be around, and Andy is encouraging, and Andy knows a lot of people and likes connecting people and enjoys being around people. And in 2018, like that was not the case. I literally was running from all of those types of situations. Mostly running because I was embarrassed, and also running because I was like, I don't have the energy. I don't literally have the physical energy or emotional energy to deal with all this stuff. And Dominic this morning was talking about how this past season of life where we're literally walking in this oneness of what it is we are made to be, and then we don't have that. That doesn't mean it goes away forever. And I was really encouraged by that because finding myself today kind of getting back into that flow of like being out in public and seeing people and enjoying being around people. Some of you who've known me for a long time are going to be really surprised to hear this, but for probably most of 2018, I was getting super anxious in crowds. Like not just public crowds, but crowds of people I know and love. In business settings, even at family gatherings, I got like super nervous. I was like panicky. My hands would start sweating. I'd like my leg would start shaking, and Jen would start noticing this, and she's like, God, what is going on? And I had just become so anxious and overwhelmed, and my entire like system was just overrun and exhausted. And I've had to do a lot of work to come out of that season and go back into this bold, creative, comfortable and confident person that can stand up in front of a room and talk about whatever I need to talk about. And that is something I'm it's something I'm going back into in my life. And so even making these videos took me a long time to just get around to the point to feeling like I can do that. I remember just a couple months ago, she's been encouraging me so much, like, you've got to tell your story, you've got to be saying this, you got to be sharing these things. And I was like, I don't want to. And I started like crying on the couch in our room. I was like, I have zero confidence. I have no confidence in myself. This is all a waste. There's nothing that anyone's ever gonna get from this. Why on earth would I do this? And I literally had zero confidence in my ability to stand up and say the very things that for years I've stood up and said. And this morning was just a really good reminder that just because there was a season where you were not the thing that you're made to be, that does not mean you will not be that later. So Dominic, thanks, man. I know I don't even know if you're gonna be watching this, but hey, thanks for saying that this morning. You were saying that to somebody else, but I took that, man. I took that as message for me too and word for me too. So thank you for saying that this morning. And those of you watching this, I hope that if you're in this season where you feel like you're not yourself, you feel like the things that are most comfortable and most like natural to you aren't happening, that doesn't mean they won't ever happen again. They can happen again. Now, I don't know when that's going to be, and maybe you don't even know when that's going to be. However, it doesn't mean that just because the page turned and it's a new chapter of life, that doesn't mean that the old you or the former you is gone forever. it'll make a comeback at some point. And I'm hoping that when it does, you use this kind of story, but in your own words and your own experience, to share with others in a way that would provide them hope and encouragement for what they're dealing with. So just as now it's taken me a couple of years to get to the place where I'll start talking about some of the hard stuff I went through. I'm hoping that if you're going through hard stuff, you won't let that define you, number one. Number two, remember that that's not what it will always be. And number three, take the next right step to getting to where it is you think you are called to be. And even if it's a return to some of the things that you were before, but it looks different, or it's in a new like physical space or new dynamic of life, that's cool. Like, just get something started. And my wife was really encouraging to me in getting me started and pressing and pushing and encouraging and prompting and prompting and prompting and prompting. And for so long I was so resistant, but I'm so grateful. Yes, Jen, I'm so grateful. I promise I'm super grateful, because even though it was annoying as all heck during the time, I can't imagine getting out of that season without your help. And I'm just grateful that today I can stand and I can say this to you without breaking down or wanting to shut the camera off, because I didn't even want to turn the camera on about 6 months ago. All of 2018 up until 6 months ago. So about a year and a half total. So thank you so much, Dominic, for the word. Thank you so much, Jen, for always encouraging me. And those of you watching this today, I really hope you share this with somebody, and it hopefully serves as a reminder to you that what you were before and what you've come and become now, that there's hope for you to return to what that you was and become even a better you as you turn over a new leaf, and as you turn over more parts of your life and eventually all of your life over to the Maker, and you let God do what He's going to do in your life, and you let Him share with you what He has for you, and awakens and then rises up and then increases and grows that very spirit of what you are supposed to be and who you are called to be wherever you go. So I want that for you. I pray that for you, that you'll have that in your life. And I hope that this short message today was encouraging for you. Thanks for listening. Talk to you again soon.